I'm swiping through like all these sad faces of women who want to go golfing and wine tasting, and I'm afraid I'm going to run out of all the women in Portland. And I almost go past this gorgeous Russian woman in a nippled-out T-shirt leaning against a Toyota Mini pickup truck. And I stop and I read the bio, and the bio says, "I'd love to have sex. Your job is to make me feel like it." So I'll take that challenge, and I'm like, well, how do you answer that without just sounding like a drooling idiot? So I just come up with, "I'll bet you like to wrestle."
Whoa.
And she comes back with, "Pow, pow, pow, strong arm, harder heart." I'm like, awesome, I love it already. And she comes back with, "But can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Sure." And she says, "If we wrestle, how will we know who won?" She's like, "How do you answer that?" And so I'm so done with like dating apps at this point, trying to be cute. I say, "Well, if we were both wearing strap-ons, that would be the one who ends up doing the fucking." So it's like eggplant, peach, heart. And I'm like, "Okay, game on, woman, your place or mine." And I wait, and 3 fucking days goes by. Geez. So I call my daughter and I said, "Can I double text this woman?" I said, "No, you can't double text a woman on a date app." So I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways." So I come up with, "Since you're so smoking hot, how do you deal with dudes that want to send you dick pics?" And she says, "That's easy. First, I make sure that I want the dick pic, and then second, I make sure they take a picture of it in one of their favorite pairs of shoes, because I want to know they wrangled it for me. I don't want so free girlfriend old dick pic, and I get to see what kind of shoes they're wearing, and I got enough for a coffee table book." Awesome. So another couple of days goes by. Oh my God, geez, like I don't even know. So I'm sitting waiting for my car to get fixed, and they say it's going to be overnight. So I'm like trying to figure out how to get a ride home, and I get this text, and it's like, "Hey, lover boy, I've been up camping naked in the woods for 4 days. You want to see a picture of my tits?" I was like, "Sure." So she sends me a picture of her tits, and I look at them, and I'm like, "Your nipples could communicate with outer space aliens." Luckily, the night before, I made sure I had one of those dick pics. So I found a pair of pumps under my bed and like wrangled my cock, and I'm taking video and taking pictures and stuff. Like I had shot this photo that was so gorgeous. I'm sure this is the cover of the coffee table book, and I queued it up on my phone, and I was about ready to send it to her, and I realized she did not want me to send this dick pic. So I'm like Ren and Stimpy, guarding the candy red button, and if you push that button, the entire world blows up, So luckily, I did not send that picture. So she sends me this picture. It's like, "That's fucking awesome." And she says, "Oh yeah." So I said, "Outer space aliens." And I said, "Well, I've got a picture for you." And she said, "It better be in a shoe." So I sent her the picture, and she goes, "Awesome," and picks me up, and pretty soon we're on our way over to her place, and there's an exhaust leak in her car that's so bad that I'm like, I can't even stand this. And I said, "I could just stop at the hardware store and fix that in 10 minutes. And she goes, "Dudes do that these days? Like, dudes do that?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know what kind of women or dudes you've been hanging out with, but from where I come from, that's normal boyfriend behavior." So
That was quick.
Yeah. So we get, she says, "Fucking, we're going to my place." And so we run up her stairs, and we start tearing off each other's skin and drinking each other's blood for like 3-4 hours. And she never really rolls over and like makes sure the candy store is open. So I didn't push it. So we kind of drifted off to this place. Like, I got to set my alarm, because if I'm not at the coffee machine at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be in big trouble. Next thing I know, my alarm's going off. And I reach over and hit the alarm, and I look down, and I've got this throbbing morning wood. And so, like, all the dudes know what you do with a throbbing morning wood, right? You just kind of press it against the leg of your woman and see what she's going to do. So she, like, looks at me like, "Really, dude?" And she, like, puts her hand on my shoulder and drives me down to the bed, throws her leg over, grabs the head of my cock, and shoves it into the pussy just a little bit, and looks me right in the eye. And I look up at her and like, "Okay, you got all my attention." And there was a sense of respect that kind of came over me for a minute. Like, I'm just going to lightly hold my fingertips on her bare ass and just let her decide what's going to happen next. So she sort of like relaxes, and pretty soon we're skipping down this little path in the woods, and she opens up a little bit more, and we're running down this path and towards this big wooden gate, and she runs up and kicks it open. We run into this beautiful garden with all the raised beds and all the colors of the rainbow, and then she picks it up some more, and we run out into this field, and our hands skipping across the tall grass. And then she goes up on her tiptoes, and like the totality of my human experience is starting to expand. And like right when my chest is going to open with our heart like a monster in the Alien movie, she jumps off my dick and jumps down on the ground and says, "Come on, we got to get ready. You're going to be late for work." I think, what the hell just happened? And she goes, "I don't know what kind of women you've been hanging out with, but from where I come from, that's just normal girlfriend behavior."